Alrighty guys, this is a must-watch video. We're about to see an opportunity of a lifetime. Most of us already understand that the MULN squeeze is coming. Basically, what I'm gonna do, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do everything in my power right now to make the MOAS happen. Because here's the thing. Like, AMC was a retail dilution war, bought every share, and it was $6.5 billion market cap. 4 million different investors. MULN, almost to 500 million shares of dilution already, and it's a $500 million market cap. So what I'm getting at is there's a lot fewer number of investors that are invested in MULN, and so because it's a smaller crowd, like, it should be a stronger crowd, like people that are more convinced of what they bring to the table and the power that they have when they do a dilution war and how much money they can actually make. So a lot of people, like, they're probably going to hold for a long time. And like, if you go look at like past videos people made about AMC squeeze and how to cash out, they said ride the downtrend. So like, let it go as high as it can possibly go and then cash out after it starts dipping. So that's interesting to think about. So here's what I'm gonna do, people. And if you have any option skills, I hope, like, you don't even need skills. It's super simple. It's just like buying a stock, except you got to choose which strikes, and all you got to do is copy which ones I do after the squeeze. Like right now, I'm all in on July strikes, July 15th, these ones right here. And when MULN hits 250, 350, it really depends on the spread between the profits that I've made on these versus the cost of the $10 strike. Because once I start going in the money, that's really just going to be my value, and it's going to evaporate my extrinsic value. So it might actually make more sense to cash this out before it hits in the money if I want to get the most number of contracts on the $10 strike. And so obviously I'm talking about the 350 strike, the 750 strike, and the $10 strike, and I'm looking for as many contracts as possible before it breaks $10. After it breaks $10, I'm probably going to roll those $10 out to 40. But here's what I want you to, and the $40 strikes will come after the stock price breaks $10. That's exactly what happened with AMC. The highest strike was $40 when it was sitting at $12. It broke 40, and then is actually, a lot of them were 30. And so it might actually reset if we break 750. But we'll get a whole new option chain, probably with strikes up to $100. Now, basically, here's how we're going to try to make the MOAS happen. If you are a diamond-handed MOAS breathing animal, like if you're on your game and you want to do everything in your power to help make a MOAS happen, and just like you've seen the AMC and the GMEs, right? Where it's like, it's got the heat map, which is all the stocks, and like, it's like all in like squares. And the bigger the company, the bigger the square, and then it shows red or green, and then like shades of those colors to show how bad and how good the stock market is doing. And then they put a big old AMC or GME in the middle, and it's like in a circular fashion, and it's like eating the whole market. And so there's a lot of people that already want to eat the market, and they just aren't, like, they're so convinced about their stock doing it because of what they learned a year ago, and they haven't left. And so I know that there's people out there that like think that's a good thing and thinks that like the world needs a reset, but retail needs to take the money and like command it. Well, here's what we're going to do, people. So I think after it hits $20, we'll probably see a dip somewhere between $15 and $12. And so if it runs to 20, like, I might wait an hour to see if it hits 23, 24, 25. But basically, I'm going to take a bunch of profits, and I'm going to buy, and I don't know exactly which strikes yet, but I'm going to buy strikes, puts, and I'm going to bet that it's going to go down in just a couple weeks to expire, because there's going to be a lot of volatility up and down when this rips. And every time that my puts pay profits, that means the price has dropped dramatically. I'm going to take 100% of those profits and buy stock. And then I still have my call options. Maybe I'll do 50-50, because I want to grow and grow and grow, so I'm always buying more stock. But I'll do 50 of my profits in stock, and then 50 of my profits in options and call options. And so again, basically I'm buying the dip, and then when it runs back up, I'm going to take more call option profits, buy more puts, and repeat the cycle. And every cycle, I'm gonna end up owning millions and millions of MULN shares. And you could do the same, and like, the shares are going to be worth a lot eventually anyways. And if we do it right and there's enough of us, like, we could just buy the whole company ourselves. Oh, there could be, like, most companies start with authorized shares of 500 million shares. And then as they grow and the stock price moves up, they eventually start increasing the number of authorized shares, because they basically buy the company from retail if it's a squeeze. Otherwise, they just start the company out at a super high market price because they don't want it to squeeze. And MULN, again, like most companies, has 500 million authorized shares, and we diluted all of them, and we're sitting at $1.30 right now. Like, it couldn't have been done for a cheaper price. We only squeezed to $4.18. There's never going to be another example where a squeeze starts at this low of a market cap, unless I go choose a smaller market cap to go squeeze. So it's very, very interesting. Yeah, I hope that you decide to join me in this, and we just buy as much stock as possible through our put profits. And if it ever looks someday that, like, the investment, like if in a couple weeks we haven't freaking squoze to infinity, then, like, maybe we'll cash out our shares. Like, if it's clear that it's just dying and dead, like, we'll go squeeze another stock that's way more squeezable, because they're still going to keep the market cap at $5, $6, $7, $8 billion, and they're still going to have billions to dilute with, that are going to be, like, hiding in the indexes of the Russell 2000. And so they tell you that those shares have to stay in the indexes, but they don't. They'll dilute those if they have to. And so basically, we're just going to see how much retail will hold, and we'll buy the stock at the lowest prices when we know it's going to rip, and we'll keep recycling the profits on calls and puts, and let's see what happens. Maybe we could go to $1,000 a share right now. That would be so beautiful. It would crush the market 80% in all the indexes. Oh, it would be so beautiful.